Welcome to another edition of Partners for Community Living. I'm Judy Leasure, and I'm pleased to welcome you again, as we do each month, to talk about services and people with developmental disabilities living within our community and a part of our community. As you may know, if you've watched us in previous shows, Partners for Community Living is a collaborative partnership between two nonprofits that are headquartered in Dayton, Ohio. One of them is the Resident Home Association, and they have close to 45 years of service in the community, providing homes and other services for people with developmental disabilities. And then, of course, our other partner agency is Choices in Community Living. And one of the focuses of both our agencies is providing homes, providing safe and nurturing homes where people are treated with respect and dignity and given the opportunity to be as active and as involved and as independent in the community as they want to be. And so it's appropriate that our discussion for this particular program is really going to focus on home and a new aspect of home, of how we move forward in finding homes and building homes for people with developmental disabilities. I'm pleased to welcome a wonderful panel that's going to share with us. Across from me is Marcia Cloud, and next to her is Greg Small. And we do thank you for coming from Springfield, from Clark County, to visit with us. So it's good to have that part of our community represented. So, and we're going to talk with you hopefully in some detail about a new program that we're going to do. And then sitting next to me is a familiar face to anyone who has watched us over the years. And he is Tom Weaver, and he is the Executive Director of Choices in Community Living. And as I said, we're going to talk about homes tonight. Both Resident Home Association and Choices provide other services. They provide non-medical transportation, respite services, adult day services, and we've talked about several of those programs in the past. But we're going to focus on a new aspect of finding homes and building homes for people during this program. Years ago, the only option for most people with a developmental disability, of course, as we've spoken about in the previous programs, was either the option of sending a child or an adult to a state institution, or for families to keep the person with a developmental disability at home without any service or support throughout the lifetime of that individual. And we've come a long way over not that many decades, really, when you consider all the changes that have been made. There came about the 169 boards in 1969 that were the Montgomery County Board of Developmental Disabilities and the Clark County Board of Developmental Disabilities that set up the county board system in Ohio that provided employment and education and early intervention for children and adults. And as accompanying that was the residential providers, private residential providers, to provide homes. And of course, Tom can speak to them much better than I can, but in the earlier days, it was not uncommon to have a 12-person home or a 10-person home or an 8-person home. And the last few years, that's gone down to where now the rules and regulations say that they prefer a 4-person home, no more than 4 people living in a home together. And at Choices, there are not only 4-person homes, but there are people who live semi-independently. They live in their own apartments with staff support. They live in duplexes with people on one side and people on the other side, and they share staffing. And we even have some people, and we have a married couple I know, maybe 2. Do we have 2 married couples? Two married couples in Springfield who have their own homes with the supportive staff that have worked with them and helped them set up a budget plan. And with their work and the things that they do, they've been able to afford their own homes, and of course feel very independent and very proud of that. But I think we're going to now focus on the newest thing, and when we say new, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Choices may be one of the only agencies in this region with this program. Is that correct, Tom?
It is. Here in the Dayton area, we are actually a program that's not new to Choices. Back in the late 80s and 90s, we had a similar little network of host homes where we had folks would have folks come into their home and live with them. but for a variety of reasons, they just kind of some of the folks who lived there got old and passed away, or sometimes the caregivers got to the point where they too got incapacitated and weren't able to continue doing the services. So we just let them go by the way and focused on doing other things. But there's a real drive, a real interest with the federal government, the state government, and certainly the county to do everything that we can to promote for people to live in homes in the community as least obtrusive in any kind of way that we can, so that folks can have and be completely engaged and involved in the community, just like all of the rest of us in terms of what we're doing in the community. So a host home and a program like that is a wonderful way, because, I mean, there's little stigma, there's little involvement, except that there's two folks being involved, living together, and of course we have the host and the mentor working with them and doing what they can to support and make sure that people like Greg have a nice, healthy, and engaged and involved life. And of course, in all the stories that we've been hearing so far this evening, certainly engaged and very involved in the community, and that's exactly what we're striving for.
Well, I think most people would relate if we talked for a moment and used as an example the foster care program for children, and that in a way was where this idea sort of began. But this is very different in that it, first of all, it does not serve children, it serves adults, and it is not foster care in that it's not a temporary placement. This is meant to for people to come together and build a home together, and to build that family relationship, friends and mentors, and be a part in the community, and to allow the person with the developmental disability to have the choice. Greg wanted a choice. I know Greg's choice was he wanted to be in a more independent kind of a setting. So we're going to. So this is. Am I getting that correctly? About so that it's a home host, and it's meant to have a permanent, long-term relationship, and it's either one-on-one or one with a family. A couple in the community or something.
Well, when we go to provide and find people and get to know people who need some residential support in the community, we've learned over the years that not one kind of support works for everybody. Some folks like to live with 2, 3, 4 other people. Some people like to live in their own place if they can, with very little support. And some people like to live in smaller settings and have a mentor, a host to be there and be with them and support them. And of course, we're trying to provide that continuum for the folks that we're serving with residential supports.
And certainly Marcia and Greg are pioneers in this region for what we're doing, and also that you're setting the example and showcasing what can happen in this type of a program. So we are so thankful that you're doing that, and so thankful that you're here to talk to us about it. Marcia, give us a little background. I know you say you born and raised in Springfield?
I was born and raised in Springfield, yes. I graduated from Springfield North High School. Then I became an activity director, assistant activity director at Mueller's in 1994. And
now explain what Mueller was.
Mueller's is for developmentally disabled people. They called it MRDD people then. And it's an organization where they have housing. They had group homes and they had cottages on this one little area. It was a neighborhood. And so that we stayed right there, but we would take people on camping in Homewood Suites. That was what we called camping, and go to restaurants and did swimming and hand-on crafts and things like that. And I really enjoyed it. Then I had a grandson and kind of went back to the motherly thing, babysitting and things, and then became a hospice caregiver. And it kind of just worked right into staying just like what I'm doing right now, and providing services for hospice and living there in their homes. And then started with Greg's out on Route 42 with Choices, and was a caregiver as a floater for a year and worked with Greg there. That's how we met.
So that's how you got to know who he was.
Got
and
to
then-
know him and decided this would be kind of semi-retirement for me, and I could still work from my home. So it worked out really well when they decided that they were going to have this program. I said, oh yeah, I love that.
And you're born and raised in this region, so know so much about this region. But Greg comes to us from all kinds of places. Greg, you lived in Alaska and in Oregon, and your father was in the military, wasn't he? He was in the military, and then you ended up in Springfield.
Springfield.
And your mother died. Did your mother die 2 years ago?
2 years.
About 2 years.
And so when your mother died, you needed a home in the community, and you moved in with what, 3 other gentlemen
Three
at
other
in a
gentlemen.
Choices home in Clark County?
No, in Madison County.
And but you still wanted to be a little more independent and wanted to be on your own a little more, didn't you? And to be able to come and go and make some decisions on your own. So you were ready when they said they had a new program. You were ready to see if that would work for you, weren't
Yeah.
you? So and you already knew Marcia. Did you go over and visit her home and see what her
No.
home looked like or anything?
Yes, I did.
Yes, you did. And did you like it?
Yeah.
Well, probably I think one of the things I've heard about Marcia's home is one of the things that I would like, I know, is that she's got a lot of pets and things in her home, doesn't she? What kind of pets?
Carrie, or whatever you call it, Carrie.
The
Canary.
bird. Oh,
Bird.
it's a parakeet.
Berkey. You got Simmer Sepper. I don't know what kind of puppy I got. Puppy, I'll say. That's all I'll say, puppy.
And your fish, huh?
Fish.
You got fish in your room, in your room. So
I don't know what else.
That's about
Well,
it.
that-
Oh,
that's
we have
about it,
rabbits.
yeah.
We have
Rabbits.
a couple rabbits.
Rabbit.
Bees.
Bee.
earthworms, I understand. There's a whole
Earthworms.
story about the earthworms
We have
and
earthworms.
the gardening and everything.
And gardening.
And I understand you are you're going to start a new job this week as well, right? Where are you going to start a new job?
I don't remember.
Tack.
Tack.
And I know Marcia had said that at your home now, that where the two of you are together, you have 2 gardens there, right? And now you're going to be working for Tack Industries, which
Tack
is
Industries.
located in Clark County.
Clark
And you're
County.
going to be doing
Garden.
gardening, right?
Gardening with tack, too.
And what is the program called, Marcia?
Hydroponics.
Hydroponics. And they
They
tell us-
provide the lettuce and they provide the herbs for Springfield City Schools and for a lot of the restaurants in the area and for Clark County Vocational School for the culinary arts. So it's a hydroponic garden that they start the seedlings and work all the way up to cultivating and selling it, bagging it up, and he's going to try that position at first.
So you're looking forward to going to work this week,
Uh-huh.
getting to know new people and all kinds of good things. Well, it's always exciting to start a new job and in a new home. How long the two of you now shared a home?
Since January the 23rd.
So it is a relatively new.
It is.
What was the process? I mean, I know I have the book that Tom shared with me, that the book of this just isn't saying I want to do this or something and it happens or something.
Right.
It was seemed to me like a really lengthy process where you had to think it through and think of all the things and fill out a lot of forms and
were a lot
all
of
those kind of things. And you had to take training. What kind of training?
Well, I didn't really have a lot of training because I worked with Choices before, so we just kind of transitioned like that. But I'd had a lot of interviews with Tom and a lot of staff from Choices. And after the interviews, then we had inspections done on my home. And after the inspections, then we were kind of a process of waiting to see who would be placed. We weren't sure. There were several candidates at that time, and we weren't sure exactly who we were going to have placed in my home. So that took a little while. And then after, it all just kind of fell into place. So it was a real smooth
So
transition.
it was a choice between you and Greg.
Yeah.
And
He made a couple home visits, and his sister came to visit, and they all decided that that's where Greg would like to live. And so
When we get involved in trying to create an opportunity like this, we do move very slow, and I know Marcia can tell you that
I was ready.
she was ready to go, and we were moving slow because we wanted to be very thoughtful and really think it through, and we don't want to rush into something and then have something not work out because we hadn't thought of that ahead of time. But so we moved rather slow and very cautiously, and really thought about making sure that it was going to be a good relationship and it was going to be great for everybody. And I think we've hit a home run here.
I think we
It
did.
seems to be working out really well.
Yep.
Well, it's
Okay.
been good. It's been good for you, hasn't it, Greg? How much? Let's see now. You're eating healthier, right? And we've got Marcia there cooking home cooked meals, right? Home cooked meals for you. How much weight have you lost?
I don't know.
12 pounds.
12 pounds.
12 pounds. And tell me about your going out and riding your three-wheeler. You and Marcia go out and ride the three-wheeler?
Where do you ride to?
Around here in the neighborhood, that all.
So far, we've just been in the neighborhood. We're working our way up to going to the reservoir. We have a lot of bike paths in Springfield,
Oh, yeah.
and they lead to the reservoir, and they lead to Xenia, they go to Urbana. We aren't quite ready for
No,
that yet.
that's a long ride.
We're not right there yet,
Yeah.
but we are working at it, and as soon as it gets nicer, we'll take a bike path and see how far we can go.
Yeah.
We're just taking it easy. We both have three-wheeler with a basket,
Uh-huh.
right?
And you're hoping for better weather so you can get out more and more.
Before
Yeah,
it gets
right.
hot,
Before
yeah.
it gets
Right.
too wet and damp and everything. And I know one of your goals, and I know one of the goals that Marcia has for you too, is that you do get healthier because you do have sugar diabetes, right? And so this exercise, and Marcia was telling us that you drink lots of water now. Yeah, lots of water, and the exercise. And what are the things you do? Like, I heard you took a trip not too long ago. Where'd you go to?
Two. I don't know.
The zoo, yeah.
Two.
You went to Columbus Zoo, right?
I come at two.
Yeah, got to see some big birds there. Big birds. And you got to stop and eat somewhere?
I stopped eat somewhere. I don't know where.
City barbecue.
City barbecue.
And I think you like that, don't you? You like
It's his
that.
favorite kind of food is barbecue. Yeah.
But that's one of the things too, the two of you can decide that you want to go out somewhere and have dinner or something, or you can, Marcia can cook at home or something. And
The nice thing too is he's come into my family and been a family member now. And so we do a lot of activities with our grandkids. Our grandkids, you see, I've always said because he's the same age, so the grandkids. And that puts us in the community with a lot of functions for band and 4-H and different auxiliaries that the kids are in that we participate in. And so we're spur of the moment people. If it's nice out, we just take a walk down one of the bike paths. So, and we might, every time we go to the doctor in Columbus, we just say, let's go on to the zoo because I have a membership, and we just go and walk as long as we can and then say, we'll come and see the next part later. So we take it easy.
I got water park in there too.
Has a water park he'd like to go to. And we've been to the Air Force Museum, and he'd like to go back
Nice.
there because we didn't make it all the way through. That's quite a big place for two older people like us, right? So he's got lots of goals and
Lots of
really likes
goals.
to do things.
And that is one of the big benefits to this kind of a program, is whereas you had a nice home with the other three people that you were living with, but it's harder when you have staff there and there's three more people, and it's harder for a person to individually say, oh, well, let's just get in the car and
Right.
drive up to Columbus and go to the zoo, or let's just go out or take the bikes out and go down to down the path or something. It's hard to do when you've got three other people, and if they don't have the same level of mobility. So this is really an independent kind of a program that and you had a hand in doing your own, setting your own bedroom up. What kind of decorations you got in your bedroom?
The night house.
Lighthouses,
Lighthouse.
and then seashells,
Seashell.
and that's where your fish tank is.
Uh-huh.
Do you like being going to the beach or going to the ocean?
Yeah, I
You
do. I never in my life. I never go to one. I never in my life.
To the ocean.
Oh, to my lifetime.
Well, there's another
you
thing to
go.
put. You two are building a big to-do list, aren't
Yeah,
you? You know, it's
yeah.
like lots of trips and all that you'd want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, tell a little bit about And certainly one of the things we want to do with this program is to say, let Marcia and Greg speak from their experiences, and that this is something that is not done easily, but when it works, it's working very well. What is required for a person if they would be interested in learning more about being and mentor, like such as Marcia is for a person?
Well, first of all, they can call our office, 898-2220, and ask about the program. And we're also on the web at Partners for Community Living, and you can find information there on how to contact us. What we're looking for is just really somebody that has space in their room, or in their home, excuse me, or I guess I should say maybe space in their heart or maybe space in their day to care for somebody with a developmental disability. Sometimes folks need someone in their life, somebody to be with them just to make sure that things are going well and things are doing well. And of course the individual is looking for somebody to share that with and some sense of being in the community. So we're looking for homes, and we're looking for, it could be an individual, it could be a couple, it could be even a family that has the interest and the willingness to share their home with somebody with a developmental disability. We would like to start off thinking that the home is going to be accessible, because a lot of the folks that we help may have some limited abilities in terms of getting around, but it's not absolutely necessary. As a matter of fact, Think Your Home has many steps to get in and out of it.
Many steps.
But that works out so fine with Greg, because Greg's still very capable of using stairs. But it is an interest of ours is to try and keep the home accessible. And we would just take a look, as Marcia said, we come in, we look at the home, we kind of run it through the mill in terms of what we're going in the inspections that we run to make sure that it's got a good electrical inspection, that the mechanical inspection and all of it. I forget, fire safety. We take a good look at that. We prefer it to be within a reasonable shot of an RTA bus or the bus lines if possible, and accessible in that way. And other than that, it's just really kind of getting to know the person who's going to be the host, know the family. And just as we do when we interview and hire individuals to work for us, we do the same kind of scrutiny for people who are going to be hosts, maybe even more so, because we want to make sure that folks have a good understanding what this is about, and that they're going to do a nice job of supporting and helping people.
Well, I know one of the things that you require in a home is that there has to be independent space for the individual. There has to be a private bedroom.
Yeah.
And Greg hit the bonus here, didn't you, Greg? You don't only have one room, you have two, don't you? So you got your primary bedroom with your fish tank and everything, and then what you got? You got your other room. What do you do in the other room?
What, TV in another room?
Got
it.
So it's sort of set up like a viewing room or something, right?
Yes,
You
like
get in
that.
there. So you have private space, and Marcia can have private space when she wants it, and then when the two of you want to do things together, you can do things together, right? And I think a person's required to have a valid driver's license.
Well,
and
yeah.
those
We
things.
would, for folks who would be doing this, it's a requirement for us to run them pretty much through the same ropes as we do for employees. There's going to be a pretty stringent background check, driver's license, and employment history, and all of that stuff. We're going to look very thoroughly at what's involved and who the person is in terms of making sure they meet all the requirements. And then if they've had experience in working with somebody with a developmental disability, that's always a plus. But if they don't, and then we're going to provide a lot of training and support for them during that period where they're getting to know someone. Again, the primary thing, and it's hard to quantify it, but you have to almost get to know the person and see their interest, because it's not like we're matchmaking, but we are in a way. We're really trying to create a very positive and meaningful relationship. And maybe Marcia can speak to this, but that goes both ways. You know, it's good for the host and it's good for Greg, you know, who's now becoming very comfortable and trusting with Marcia and knows that he has someone to count on and depend on.
Right.
It seemed like
When-
you two had a lot of interest
We did.
together.
When we first met and discussed this, we had a resident that needed a position, needed a place to live, and Tom and I both decided that it wasn't for my home. You know, so I was ready to say, okay, I'll take anybody that needs to come. I think that I'm qualified and I could handle it. But then afterwards, I was like, oh, please, I don't think I can handle this person. And Tom saw that. He saw that it wasn't the proper person for the home. And when Greg was just the perfect choice. So,
Yeah.
but that's why, you know, he needs to know people. That way he knows whether he can position someone that, you know, needs to really be there.
Yeah, and see how that
Right.
transition's going to
Right,
go.
because it could have been a disaster if it had been the person
So that involvement, that really heavy involvement of Choices staff is very important in that process of making sure that you've got that.
Yeah.
What was the transition? It was a pretty smooth transition for the two of you.
It was
then.
for me because we worked together, and he knew me, and I worked with Choices, so that was a plus. And I was a floater, so I was at all the homes in Clark County and Madison County, and I knew a lot of different residents, and so there were several candidates for the position to come live with me, and it was the one that came about, the one that was supposed to be there, and that was Greg.
Was it easy for you to move into the house, Greg? Was it an easy thing for you to do? And did you feel like you had a home right away? Yeah, and you were glad to be with Marcia, right? Were you glad just to have the two of you where you could come and go and be
Yeah.
independent? So, and do you get to share with her what kind of things you'd like for dinner, or the two of you talk it over, or
Yeah,
you talk it over or something and decide?
We try.
we
Yeah.
tried.
Yeah, he tells me when he's tired of something, like he's tired of salads right now, and I was just trying to find things that would fill him up, that would do with his diabetes. So we went to a nutrition class. We went to a nutritionist, and they helped me out a lot
Yeah.
to understand exactly what's needed for his diet.
And Tom, talk a little bit about what support the agency provides to the mentor and to the person living in the home. I know
Yeah.
that there's a stipend and there's staff support, and also can you talk about some of that?
Well, first I want to start off and mention Jenny Albright. Jenny is our program director, and she's been working with Marcia and David Boosty also. But Jenny primarily has been working with Marcia and with Greg right from the get-go, and she was the person who's actually in charge of developing and working this program. And she's done an awful lot of, I'd like to take the credit for doing all the legwork and getting all the inspections and moving it forward, because there's a lot of paperwork that we have to complete with the state and everything, but Jenny did a lot of that and managed to pull it all together. And the stipend that we pay for a program like this is $75 a day. And we also pay a regular monthly stipend for all the living expenses that would be incurred and that Greg would have. And I think it's just a regular set monthly fee. But beyond that, we do expect that there's going to be times when Marcia might want to take a vacation, or maybe she has to run out here, she needs a day or a weekend off or something like that. And so we also offer that service, and she just let us know, and we'll able to fill in and get the right person. Our current floater, I don't know who that is
I don't either.
up there, but whoever is trained and able to come in and do and support during that period of time. But of course that hasn't happened yet, and this is new. But that is part of the foster program, or the host home program that we have going, and that's where we're trying ahead with it.
And
It's-
staff help with the documentation and all those kind
Yeah,
of
we,
things?
we have a computer software system that pretty much takes care of most of the regulations that we need from the state in order of documenting and making sure that we have services well documented and everything done. But the host home system is a lot gentler in that regard because they do understand that it's a family of sorts, whereas when you have a group home and you have a lot of people living together, then there's more expectations for documentation and detailed administrative stuff. But they kind of back off and leave the host home services to be a little bit more friendly just to people living out there, and so we don't have too much of that. I would like to also say that another reason that the host home is really catching on the fire is that it falls in line with what the Center for Medicaid Services coming out of Washington, D.C. is bringing out to the country as a whole now. There is a real push from them to make sure that services for people with developmental disabilities are community integrated as much as possible. And you know, I can't think of a more integrated community kind of based kind of services than a host home kind of service like that. I believe we're going to see a lot more of it in the future. And according, you know, I am really hoping that choices could be at the fore of this in terms of developing it more so in our county. I know that the folks who do a lot of the placement with the Montgomery County Board of DD have said to me that they believe that if we can develop the opportunities, that they have people who would be very interested in having that kind of a home service.
And so this would be for all of the counties where you provide services?
Yes. Yeah.
Which is?
We're in Preble County, Montgomery County, Clark County, and Madison County. We kind of run east and west on I-70 there.
Well, Greg, I know that we want to get you to talk some more here, and if we let Tom, he would talk all night for us. But we want to. You've had a lot of goals, don't you? And one of your goals was to have a home like this, and you've been able with Marcia's support, you've been able to do that. You had a goal that you wanted to find a nice job, and now you're going to start a nice job. And you and Marcia have been talking about all kinds of trips and things. You'd both kind of like to do some traveling. Tell us what you'd like to do with traveling and all.
Oh, I like get my own RV, camper, trailer, RV and trailer camper, whatever you call that.
And go off.
Go off a lot of trip, I like a lot of shopping dinner, a lot of restaurant too, a lot of places. I want to stay all night if I get tired.
So I know, where are you interested in right now? What state would you like to travel to?
I like to travel all over state what you have. I like to go to the coast, and go Rise, whatever you call it, Rise. And then I like to go all over, water work, all over. They got a lot of water work. I like to go a lot of places. I can't what to call it.
What about California?
California, I like to go.
You'd like to go to California?
I like to go Minnesota.
Do you want to go to Minnesota?
Minnesota. And I like to go, what Marcia say, Arizona, and that another
Utah.
Utah.
Utah, you'd like to go to Utah?
A lot of places. I can't name.
Well, you're picking some of the prettiest places in the country to go see.
I like to go to Disneyland,
Okay.
all them places.
Now, you have a birthday very soon, don't you?
May 5th.
May 5th, and how old are you going? Can you tell us?
I'll be 83.
Oh, 83?
63.
53, I mean.
63.
63.
I was going to say,
Don't make yourself any
not
older.
that old. I can tell you're not that
53.
old. Just say you're going to be 63, so you got a lot of goals and a lot of time to really want to do a lot of that. And you, one of the things you said you'd like to get for your birthday is a camera.
I get a camera, and I like get AM FM radio out in a disc player,
Okay.
out in a tape player. And I like get radio AM FM. I like get satellite dish radio, short radio, scanner. Oh, forgot satellite dish.
No?
No, I mean the satellite radio.
Okay, Cirrus.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And a fishing pole.
Fishing pole.
Because you plan to go fishing, right? You and Tom
Yeah.
made me set up some times here with those worms that you've got cooking.
Oh, yeah.
In your thing that,
Yeah.
you can do
I like
that.
to get. I remember I like to get my own fishing castle, my own hook. What do you call it? I can't remember. You get hooked it up. They got the
Your bobbers and
bobber.
Bobbers,
Yeah, a lot of bobber.
And
Oh,
tackle
they make a
box.
lot of fancy ones, don't they?
and your tackle box to put it
tackle
in.
box.
And
Yeah,
I understand that you could probably ride, isn't there a place on the bike trail or something that he could actually
Yeah,
ride?
the
Right,
reservoir is close to us. Clarence J.
Reservoir.
Brown Reservoir is close to us.
So you could go down there and catch yourself a fish for dinner or
And
something.
maybe sometime I might go swimming.
Yeah.
So you have a lot, and you're really dedicated too. One of your goals is to really get healthy and beat your diabetes, isn't it? You want to get rid of that
Yeah.
diabetes.
One thing, if I get to go, I like to go to YMCA.
The YMCA. He'd like to have
Oh,
a
okay.
membership to the
Sometimes,
YMCA.
sometimes I'm really mad. I went in Oregon. I remember I went YMWCA. I've been in that one. I really missed that. I really missed
Well,
that.
you're getting a job now. You could do some of these things with the money you're going to be making, right? Get yourself and I understand that's a nice Y in Springfield, isn't it?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we're opening up that Fun Fit program up there with the
Oh, my goodness, you have
YMCA
to talk about
in
that.
Springfield, so you can participate in that.
When that start?
It should be pretty soon, like maybe next month or so.
Probably in May, happen in May.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll have to keep track of it and stuff and get into that program.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
been
I will.
asking for a Y membership since he moved. Well, before he moved, he wanted to go to the Y.
Oh,
Well, the Fun Fit
okay.
provides that, doesn't it?
Yep.
It provides the membership,
We'll
and
get you the
plus you go
membership and-
whatever days and times that you have available, 1 day a week or 2 days a week or where, a morning or something, and do the exercise and swimming.
Do
There you talk about
exercises with
swimming.
trainer
swim.
and swimming.
Martha say, when we do go to, when I get my library, sometime we might go to
We
the
go
library.
to the library. He has a library
Our
card,
library card.
and he gets his videos, and we watch them
Because
for
you
a
want to
couple
learn more to
days.
read too, or something. You got a helper helping you learn to read more now, don't you? Who's your helper helping
I
you?
don't know.
Jeannie,
Jeannie?
And she's how old is Jeannie?
I don't know.
8. No,
Eight.
she's 9 now. She's
9 now.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
your
one of your
granddaughter?
granddaughter,
That's our
right? She likes to come and,
Yep.
like I say, it really has become a family
Well,
kind of an
Jeannie's
atmosphere.
in
hasn't it?
in the grade where you have to pass the reading, so she needs help too. So she sits with Greg and reads, and then Greg reads it back to her.
Oh,
Because he's a sight reader. He looks at the pictures and he reads the pictures.
Oh,
And he'd love
okay.
to learn how to read the words. So he wants to.
I remember I read Marcia. I kind of hard pronounce the word.
yeah.
It's hard to pronounce words.
Right.
But you take your time and practice, right?
Yep.
But you and Marcia don't seem to have any trouble
He
communicating.
has a beautiful penmanship. He really can print really well, and he'd love to learn to write cursive. And he wants to learn how to do the computer so he can play on the computer games.
My work, where I work, they're going to teach me how to learn computer reading stuff over there.
They have some workshops where he can do that, and he can learn to use the microwave because he wants to learn how to cook diabetic food.
Oh, very
Yeah.
good.
So all those
Very
things
good.
after he's done working, he can do some of those things at TAC.
Not enough hours in the day.
I know.
That might take me to fishing. I don't know what you call
Yeah,
it.
they have a fishing derby that you're going to go to.
Going to the fishing derby, that's great.
Tat say I might go to bowling too.
He'd like to go bowling.
Wow, you're a real active guy.
Well, I'll tell you that you're going to have more weight. You keep doing all those things, and there's going to be more weight. You're going to be just as thin as you're going to be thin, Greg. Yeah.
Maybe.
But that's good for you when they, you know, and it's harder to lose when you're, as you get older.
Yeah.
It's harder to lose that weight and all. So
Absolutely.
doing all these activities and all, Marcia's a good influence on you.
He's a good influence on me.
Well, there you. So you go do some of it with him too, right? So-
Excellent.
And do you two, you do movies or anything like that?
We've gone to some movies.
How do you decide?
Well, it's grandchildren decisions usually. So Greg wants to go see Spider-Man and Superman. I guess it's superheroes when it comes
I
up
call
pretty
it
soon.
super mutant.
Super mutant. I don't know what it is.
yeah,
Oh,
well,
I know what that is.
Oh, I know he knows what it is. I
Yeah.
just don't know what it is.
I do.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to go to too many cartoons. He said he doesn't like cartoons.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he stayed with someone while I took the grandkids on spring break to see one of the cartoons. I forget what it was.
Frozen, maybe?
No, it wasn't Frozen.
Wasn't
It was the little
Frozen,
dog we used to watch, and I can't remember. What was that
Oh,
dog?
sorry, I forgot.
I did too. But he said, I don't
Paul
want to go.
Winkle.
It's like Bullwinkle, but it wasn't Bullwinkle.
Oh, Mr. I know which one. The little guy, the
Yeah,
little
the
guy
little
with
dog.
the big glasses.
Yes,
and-
yes.
Mr. Peabody.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Peabody.
Mr. Peabody.
He didn't want to go see Mr. Peabody, so
Yeah.
he's waiting for Superman one to
okay.
come out. It's
Yeah,
coming out
yeah.
pretty soon.
Only one thing I like. Only one thing, a certain kind of cartoon I like. I like Super Mutant cartoon, and I like I forgot Captain America.
Captain America, yeah.
You like the heroes.
Oh, you like
a lot
the
of
super
hero
action,
cartoon. I like a lot of hero
action
cartoons.
movies, yeah.
Well, I have 15 grandchildren,
Oh,
so
my goodness.
there's age 17 to age 2, and I'm sure we'll find somebody
You'll-
that can go
Somebody
with
will
those.
like
Somebody
those
likes
kind of
those.
variety of movies.
And then you've got family
Yeah.
in, across the country, so that gives you an opportunity to maybe go do
we
some
went to
visiting.
Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky for Easter, and
Yeah, that's
we had a Easter dinner with my daughter that lives in St. Paris, and he went on his first, he told me, Easter egg hunt.
Was it fun?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Anyway, I got same thing all over the country. I got all my family all over the country. I say.
And you have one sister here, right?
I have one sister
One
here.
sister. And what's your I understand your sister's going to come to your house, and
Uh-huh.
you're going to work with a sister to learn to make.
Some kind of dumplings, I'm not sure yet. He
Sea
calls
dumpling,
them,
I call it.
he calls sea dumplings. I'm not sure what it is, but she's going to show me how to make them.
So you'll have something that you'll remember from home when you were a young man, right? Yeah, that's the sister. So it's just really being able to keep that whole extended family together and
Yeah.
everything and build
Right.
on it. It's kind of an amazing thing.
The one thing, when my sister come my birthday, I might stay all night with my sister.
Well, that,
Oh, that'd be nice.
and that's your choice, right? If you want to do that, and you're so. And then Marcia just sit with her feet up for a day or something, right? Or maybe go see one of her movies, or who knows
I
what.
go for my massage.
A massage.
I like to go to massage. I don't have any
my
money.
son's girlfriend does massage. So.
Oh.
That costs a lot of money. To go
Yeah,
to
it
massage.
does.
You pay for it. A lot
Oh,
of
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I bought my wife a massage for Christmas, and she liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember I got massage. People come over the door, houses too. A lot of people go to the houses and stuff.
Maybe.
I've seen it on TV. I've seen it in the book. Go over to the houses and stuff. Massage.
So yeah, what are you planting in your gardens at home? What kind of things are you?
Go hot pepper.
Peppers.
All that stuff.
Are we talking about hot?
Hot peppers. He
Hot
went
peppers.
through the catalog, and that's the first thing he picked. Red hot peppers.
Red hot pepper.
You like spicy food,
He
right?
does.
Hot
I
food?
like a lot of spicy food. A lot of spices you can put on the food too.
Like
So-
a hot sauce and things like that.
Something like that. And you got them hot spices too, put on it.
Like herbs, we're going to have thyme and basil and rosemary and mince.
Man. And I seen certain kind hot pepper, not this. It go on, it can kind of grow on the ground. Certain kind.
Yeah, they're a little bush. Yeah.
The bus.
We've got the seeds. We haven't planted the seeds yet. It's a little too early, so.
Yeah, they haven't been too clear on what this weather's going to be.
Yeah,
and
we have our cabbage out and our spinach out and our onions and our strawberries.
Only one thing I don't like, I don't like 99, 100, 100 more. I don't like that weather. Too hot.
Too hot.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like that.
Well, we'll probably get some of that, but you just go in the house and relax.
I don't like riding a bike that hot.
Oh, neither do I. Don't worry.
You can go back to the Air Force Museum where it's air
We'll go
conditioned or
someplace where
something.
there's air conditioning.
Yeah, go into the air conditioning. And
That's
all.
right.
I have a feeling Marcia will make sure that you don't get too
God,
hot there.
Marcia don't got that kind of warm car. Get real hot over
No,
100.
no, we have air conditioning in our car also.
Okay.
Yeah.
There, see, so you don't
Taking
have any.
good care of you.
You don't have anything to worry about this summer, do you? I imagine the summer will go by just really quickly. Are you going to work every day of the week? Is it 5 days a week you're going to be working at TAC?
Yes.
Only one thing, if I do have to work in that cat, I really don't like to work in that hot weather. We go up to 100 more. And if it does go up 100 more, I don't like to work in that.
Well,
they
I
have
don't-
air
Not too many people
They
do.
do.
I'm
so-
sure they do.
Yeah, they'll make sure because people get sick at that. You have that kind of temperature, people get sick, and we don't want to do that. So it sounds like you two are good role models for how a program can work. You can really serve as an example to everyone else and say that you might have to take some training if I don't have it. I have to learn CPR and I have to fill out some forms, but. And then get to know a person, and I think that's matching a person and having that
It
option
is.
and saying, we kind of click, or there's something there that we know we're going to be good together. Or
One
something.
thing, I've seen, I know how the TV work. The same thing on the TV. You think people like us, you guys talk together. I've seen them on TV.
Oh, have you seen Tom on TV before?
No, not that. I talk about people talk together like you guys
Talking,
do.
yeah.
I've
shows,
seen
yeah.
talk shows on TV.
Like
Yeah.
a talk show, like this, like you and me talking. I've seen that on
Oh, there are a lot of
TV.
those, aren't there? There's a lot of those on these days.
I've seen the camera. I've seen that. The different people talking and stuff on TV. The same thing on the Christian station too. I've seen.
Well, you're sitting here though, and you're talking about really important things. I mean, some of those things are really important, but we're really talking about a home for people, aren't we? And can't be too many more things more important than a good home, is there? And
I've seen a lot of people talk about home and stuff like that. I've seen on TV like the same thing we did talk about. I've seen a lot of people like that talking.
would you say you've got a good home now? Got a good home, and you've met the big goal, right? So are you happy now? You're happy. Well, something. I think Marcia's happy too. From what I can tell.
Yeah.
I think it's just not a one-way street. Is it?
I like not having to drive in the winter on the highway. And I like not having to go someplace 100 degrees that I can sit with my feet up in the air conditioner with Greg.
And you still feel like you're doing something that's valued.
And I am still working and keeping an income and sharing my home with Greg.
I'll probably, after, when I get up to 100 more, I'd say I'll probably have to lose a lot more sandals. And
Yeah, you'll need sandals.
a lot more sandals.
A lot more sandals.
We'll just
along
go
with
barefoot,
what else
okay?
was it? Let's see, we got to do sandals, we got
likes
to
the
do a
sandals.
camera, we got to do
Fishing pole,
fishing pole and
ham
bobbers.
radio.
We do got to
Got a
do
long
a
list
computer.
there.
Yeah, he does.
Well, see, boy, we're gonna keep you working. We're gonna keep you working, but you got to put a bug in somebody's ear about this birthday thing now with the birthday coming, and happy birthday. So we hope you have a really happy birthday. So this will be your first
And
birthday in your new home.
He's
won't
looking
it?
forward to having a chocolate pudding pie for his birthday.
Yeah.
With candles in it that you
Oh,
can blow out.
well, we're going to put candles in it?
I don't know how you do it.
Oh, well, we'll have to
Yeah.
see if we put candles in it,
You're
won't
going to
we?
have to
You
work
have
up
to
that
figure it
air.
out.
I will figure it
We'll
out.
Because,
figure it out. That'll
I
be
might,
something.
in May, my sister might come in May. I might stay all night. I might have a birthday out there on my birthday, not here, or
Oh.
not her place.
I think she's come to our house. Yeah,
I come to your house.
yeah.
If you put 63 candles in that cake, you got a lot of blowing to do to get them all blowed out.
I don't think all 63 will quite do it.
No, but we can do the diabetic pie. We can do the sugar-free graham cracker crust, and we can do sugar-free pudding. And he can have lots of whipped cream on there
Oh,
because
there you go.
Oh, whipped cream's
It's
not that
okay.
bad, isn't it? Yeah.
You're
So
making me
he's-
hungry just thinking
I
about
was
it.
surprised at
Yeah.
that, the whipped cream, it's not a problem with.
so.
So, sounds like a plan.
Yep, that's what he
Sounds like a
wants.
plan.
I asked him what he wanted to eat, and he said a Hot Pocket and a chocolate pie.
Hot pocket and a chocolate pie.
Right?
What kind of a hot pocket?
I got all kinds of hot pot.
What's
One
your
thing,
favorite?
one paper, I got hot stuff in a hot pocket. Hot stuff in it. I want a hot
He
stuff.
wants a spicy one.
You all
Spicy one.
like a spicy
okay.
one.
I got any kind of hot pocket. You got hot pocket. Any kind of mild hot pocket, 10 mile. Any kind. I can't name them all.
I think if you keep eating all that spicy things, it's going to keep you awful young.
Uh-huh.
I think it's going to keep you young eating that spicy stuff because nothing's going to get you with all that spicy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Marcia and Greg, it's been a pleasure to talk with you and just to see the two of you together and know that this time last year you were two separate individuals and now
Now we're a
your
family.
lives are kind of melded together and you know it's not all about blood, is it?
No,
It's not
no.
all about blood. It's about the connection
It's
and
a
everything. So-
connection and friendship, and we have a home.
and you have a home. And that's what I say, when we started the program, we talked about the most, probably the best, one of the best four-letter words is that HOME. And if you don't have it, you know, don't you?
Yeah.
And Greg, you know, if you don't have just what you want in a home, what it means when you find one, don't you? Well, we thank you, and
Thank you for
you have
having
fun
us.
up there in Clark County, and you have a great birthday.
Okay.
A great birthday, and we're going to thank everyone for joining us here. And before we conclude our program, we do want to talk to you just for a minute about a couple of events that we have coming up. All of the programs that we provide and everything, of course, are supported by a lot of our fundraising we do. On May 14th, we invite all of you to come to Thai Nine Restaurant in the Oregon District for our 2014 Dining with the Stars. Now, Tom, you're going to have to help me. Let's see, we have the Mayor of Dayton, Nan Whaley. We have John Paul and Gabrielle Enright from Channel 7. We have Chick Ludwig from WONE Radio. We have Nancy Wilson and Fry Guy from K99 Radio. Who else do we have? Larry Hanskin from WHIO. We have Joseph, Toyota's General Manager, Christian Hahn. And they are all going to be at Thai Nine, and they are going to be your celebrity waiters for the night. And you can imagine a more fun and fast-paced night. So we need you to give us a call, though, because we do have to have RSVPs because it is limited seating. So call 278-0791 and mention Dining with the Stars, and then tell them if you want the first seating, which is 5:30, or the second seating, which is 7:30. And you will get your name on the RSVP list. And if you would like one of the particular waiters to be your celebrity waiter, let us know that too, and we'll try to make sure that we get that waiter assigned to you, and you can have a great time and get them to sing a song for you, get them to do a little dance.
Or there is one gentleman who really does not like sushi, but for a big tip, he will eat some sushi.
And if you want to talk to Fry Guy, just tell Fry Guy you'll have him eat some sushi for you, and don't tell him we told you so. Then on June 6th, this is something, and maybe we can get Marcia and Greg to come down from Clark County, is our annual Partners Bowl-a-thon. And that is June 6th. June 6th. Sorry. Well, I'm getting my dates all mixed up here. June 6th is, and it's out at Beaverview Bowl, and all of the proceeds from that bowl-a-thon go to the wish list, and they help the people that we serve and RHA it serves to get things like clothing and shoes and furniture and medical equipment, hearing aids, eyeglasses, recreation. We've paid for a couple of people to be in bowling leagues this past year. Certainly, if there's a bowling league that Greg was interested in it or
I
something,
did. I like them too.
that's what those wish lists are there for. So again, you can call me for that, 898-3655. Don't forget our go online to our award-winning website, www.partnersohio.com, and we work very hard to try to keep it as updated as possible. The events come and go pretty quickly, but we try to get on there as soon as we can and make sure everything is updated for you. So we invite you to either of those events and come out and join us and have a great time. We do invite you again. Let's give that number for the Host Home program for Choices in Community Living. What a difference you could make in someone else's life. And there is someone out there just like Greg that could make a difference in your life. Just ask Marcia and she'll tell you that. And call 898-2220, and you can ask for Jennifer Albright or you can ask for Tom Weaver, and they will give you more information about the Host Home program and how you can get started if you have an interest in being a part of that very important and progressive and pioneering kind of a new system for the agencies. Every time we think we've done just about everything we can do, we find something new, and we find something new and creative to
Keeps getting
work.
better.
It keeps getting better. So we want you to do that. Tom, do you have a closing or anything you'd like to give us?
Well, I guess just thank you to Greg and Marcia for being here this evening, and you know, you guys are doing a great job working with each other, and certainly Marcia, thank you for opening your home and your heart up to Greg, and
Thank you for the
working with us.
opportunity.
Yeah, he's certainly a worthy gentleman.
Yes,
Worthy gentleman, and there are a lot of worthy gentlemen and ladies
there are.
with the same goal. Well, they don't have all the goals. They may not want to put worms on hooks, but they want homes, and they want this kind of a home, and they want to feel like they're part of a family or something. And so you've set an example for them that your dreams can come true, and so you're helping other people with their dreams come true. So you've given a great gift, and Marcia, you've given a great gift. So we wish you happy birthday.
Okay.
I hope this is the best you've ever had. And it looks like it may be one of the best you've ever had because you've got your new family with you. Again, 898-3655 for Partners for Community Living. We welcome you to join us at our programs here on DATV. We welcome you at any of our events and join us on our website. And if you would like a tour of a home or anything else that you would like more information, just give us that call at that number. We appreciate your time. We appreciate what the community does for us. And we wish you all have the kind of home and families that Marcia and Greg are building together. We wish that for our entire community. Until we meet again, home and blessings from Partners for Community Living.